It is July 7th, 2024. Been sick most of the day. Tried those Ozempic shots to lose weight. Don't do it. I don't know about you, but it gave me heartburn until it like gurgles in your throat, makes you sick. So nauseous you can't hardly eat. And you try to make yourself eat. And stomach pain. Talked to somebody else who used it. They had it worse and even vomited. Yeah, I'm not doing that one again. Can't wait for it to wear off. Okay, done with venting. Today is July 7th, 2024. On July 5th, 2024. I was at Hartville Kitchen. I went to the pickup thing, got my client, me and her, our food. Went back and I had got a salad and the ranch dressing tastes like paint. I said, I don't know if it's a shot or is it me? And I said, would you mind trying this dressing? She's like, that does not taste like ranch. So I said, do you care if I take it back? She's like, no, go ahead. So I went back, they made me a new salad. The employees in the back were talking. Some guy showed up here, he said he was paying for the harassment. And he feels bad about everything. He found out that she had nothing to do with that kid's death. And that family is running around making up excuses to harm people. They even had her raped. And he feels bad for everything. And he said not to say a word to her. Can you imagine? And and we're talking about it. Well, you know, if you go even the first day of the case, the next morning, about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, my whole family knew people were threatening my life bad. People were showing up. I'm scared out of my fucking mind. Okay? I called Dixie, my one daughter-in-law, about 5, 6 in the morning before the girls get up. I used to talk to her a lot. My family was really close. Okay? I call her up and I said, Dixie, I want you to stay out of this. And I hear the word kill it outside. And then I hear my security system for the house when it beeps. It goes beep, beep when it goes off. I heard it go beep, beep, and I thought, what on earth? I'm in bed. It's pitch black out in the middle of the country. Being outside of town when it's dark, it's like soup dark. Okay? And I'm like, Dixie, stay out of this. All of a sudden, I heard footsteps outside my door. I thought, I'm dead in a second. I don't even have time to run. I'm like, Dixie, no matter what, you promised me. You stay out of this. She's like, but Karen, they're threatening your life. I'm scared for you. Well, she was crying. I'm like, I started to cry too. And I'm like, Dixie, I know, I'm scared too. But no matter what, you promised me. You stay out of this. Men, that's not what's going on. Everybody out in here scurrying. And I'm like, Dixie, no matter what, you stay out of this. I got up and somebody got my house. I bet they told them that too. And they found out they were threatening my life. They probably broke in to kill me. Because they lied to them. Do you realize how shitty that is? Her father. I'm at home with my whole family. Her father showing off in front of a bunch of church people speeding. One of the lead cars to go to a church baseball game. Speeding. Goes through a stop sign and hits a semi. Kills himself and their son showing off. Hit so hard that Tyler got ejected. Brian Laney had to show up and tell us. Her father murdered her kid. Showing off. And himself, he wasn't even showable. You have to be doing over 45, 50 for the inner part of the car to be crushed. And he got ejected. And Phil wasn't even showable. He was in pieces. He hit so hard. Do you realize how fast he was speeding with that kid in the car? Get the idea. Even some of the drug dealers yelled at these other ones. How dare that family ever say a word to her? That idiot killed that kid. Back in 2003, some of the church people said they have to learn to live with the grief of her father murdering her son. Exactly. Now I want you to think. Back last September, October of 23, in Target, some of the officers showed up. What was that agent ever thinking? Listening to that minister. We looked it up. The only one that ever said she was faking was Strange. It was Strange's lie. He's the only one that ever said it. The only one. And he was only a minister. He wasn't a doctor. Excuse me. And he has such a low IQ. You couldn't believe a word that came out of his mouth. And it was only Strange saying it. Oh, because my doctor in front of them was talking to me and my ex-husband. First month or two of the case, it was a medicine making us sick before. It was medication errors. It was documented medical malpractice and documented medication errors. They were defrauding me, ripping off my insurance. Maybe so sick I almost died. Supposed to be going to pain management. And the crackpots were just ripping me off and almost killed me. I took another doctor to tell him, oh, and it was Altman Family Physicians, that they were known for doing this. Lying, falsely diagnosing people, making people sick so they have to come back. Getting kickbacks from the drug companies from $200 to $1,000. Making people, sharing them with their associates and friends, ripping people off, making them sicker into wanting to do unnecessary procedures, get an attorney, sue them, turn them over to the state, have them pull their license. If I would have even told the state, negligence is 1 to 8 years and $1.5 million fine. The state alone would have took care of them. And it took me 9 months to slowly get well. It was documented by Altman Family Physicians, Dr. Eli, and then proven when I got off the medication, I got well. Now, do you ever claim fraud in somebody just making you sick to rip you off? No, that would make you stupid. You just better thank God I never sued them. Do we understand? Because Dave and I talked about suing them for 2 years, and Altman Family Physician encouraged us to sue him for over 2 years. And it took me 9 months to slowly get well. And that minister making up that shitty lie 6 months after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with. Thought he caught his son in adultery with Katie. Here's my sister Linda. My sister Linda's married to his son Tim. She's out one day, sees him out with Katie, so when she leaves, she starts following him, find out what they're doing. She got caught. They thought it was me. So he made up a baby lie on me. You know, my sister had told me, everybody thinks Strange is so smart. He really isn't. He just puts on a show that he is. He only has a high school diploma for the 1950s. He can only read, write, add, subtract, multiply, and divide. That's all he had to do to graduate. He never went to college. He only got his minister's license because a bunch of ministers in the 50s did some Bible classes across the parking lot. Signed minister's license. He only got the church because the guy was trying to sell it and he offered him a land contract. He never went to college. And he never had a higher education. He got a 5th grade education? 4th. Some little kid is as smart as him. That's probably why he didn't want his people to go to college. For the longest time, he didn't want them to. Get the idea? Didn't want the women to work. Because then he could control people. So Nicole, So, who told that agent I was faking? Well, it sure as hell wasn't one of my doctors. Because, like, my doctor in front of Dave, in front of the police, within the first month or two, they're sitting in the back room. I seen them watching through the camera. She always blamed the steroids, but they had you on so many medications. Hard to tell them which one or the combination thereof was making everything swell up and everything quit working. It's a good thing you got off of it, got on high doses of pain medicine, got out moving, because it was medicine making you sick. And they were putting it nicely compared to what they said in 2002, how they were just ripping me off and knowing to do. You don't have to admit to somebody defrauding you, nor do you claim they're false diagnosing over you, because that would make you stupid. If they induce seizures. Told me I had epilepsy. Got off the medicine. I didn't have seizures. Didn't have brain swelling then. Heart went back in rhythm. They literally damaged my heart. My heart valves enlarged. So where was I faking when I have MRI reports showing my body swollen? Where was I faking where I got blood work showing everything shutting down? Where was I faking where it says my heart valves are enlarged? It caused many heart attacks. Ended up in cardiac wards. Where was I faking when they told me I had level 2 brain tumors and it caused brain swelling? They almost fucking murdered me. Ripped me off. Do you remember before 2000, a bunch of doctors were doing Medicare fraud, Medicaid fraud, insurance fraud, making people sick? Started the opioid addiction, became like drug dealers, and ripped off all kinds of people. Do you remember them? People died, people became maimed. A lot of doctors went to jail for it. Hello, I found some of them. And it took another doctor to tell on them, or I would have already been dead. I have all this proof, and even they don't give fentanyl to fakers. Like Dr. Eli said, I have to get you out enough pain to move those locked muscles. All anything's wrong with you is your muscles locked up from all those surgeries. Everything else is chemically induced. You get off that medication, you'll be fine. They don't give fentanyl to fakers. It's 100 times stronger morphine. So, who said I was faking? A minister that thought I caught his son in adultery, where Linda came up to me in November of 2003. Karen, I was falling up again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. I'm like, great. So, who made up that lie? Strange by Sunday. Did it have anything to do with the Vegas? Huh? Her father murders her kid 6 months before that? It took me 9 months to slowly get well in front of him. Dang it, well. Okay, I started with November of 2002 on fentanyl patches, got off everything. Lost 30 pounds the first month of swelling. I was swelled up so bad. I had went from 105 pounds in a year to 250 to 275. That's why I got like 3 arms. Huh? 275. I was so swollen. Think of Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory, that girl that ate that blueberry or whatever, swelled up like a Oompa Loompa kind of thing. Yeah. Legs double in size, knees popping out of place, feet are this thick, falling, had to use canes and braces. My heart valves enlarged, had many heart attacks, end up in cardiac wards. Where's that baking? My heart valves are still enlarged, still flutters at times. They damaged my heart. Thyroid shuts down my adrenal gland. My brain starts swelling. They tell me I need my pituitary gland removed, that I have pituitary tumors. Level 2 yet. Go to my doctor. What do you think of all this? She's like, she does this. Whoa. We need to have a long talk what those doctors are doing. They are known for doing this. Lying. Falsely diagnosing people. Ripping them off. Making them sick so they have to keep coming back. Sharing with their associates and friends doing the same thing. Falsely diagnosing them. Writing out big prescriptions. They're getting kickbacks from the drug companies from $200 to $1,000 per false prescription. And wanting to do unnecessary procedures. It's immoral, it's unethical what they did. You're not the first one, and you're not the only one. Get an attorney and sue them. Get off that medication, you'll be fine. It's a medicine making you sick. There's nothing wrong with you but your muscles locked up. But they said I have epilepsy, I have seizures. They're induced by the medicine. They said I have level 2 brain tumors. You have brain swelling due to the medication. The heart attacks, everything are being induced by the medication. They damaged my heart. Dr. Eli agreed, start me on fentanyl, patches, muscle relaxers. Like I said, I started in November 2002 with Dr. Eli. By April, I'm almost well. I told you the first month I lost 30 pounds. Second month, I was pulling myself around stores, malls. Got so much pain I couldn't stand it, and I ended up in the emergency room. By the end of the second month, beginning of third month, it stopped. I still had all that swelling on me. My brain swelling's gone, my thyroid is back to working, my adrenal gland, my heart's back in rhythm. It still flutters at times because they actually enlarged my heart valves, and it's documented. Okay? I could drive my own car. I took my canes and braces when I went out. Because if you fall at home, you can pull over to a couch, waddle like a duck, and then fall again. Get up and fall again, practice walking. The only thing that was wrong with me is my muscles locked up from the surgery, and then I had all that induced swelling. One doctor even had said it's like you need dialysis. You have so much fluid on you. Even though your kidneys are working, you can't keep up with all the swellings forming on your body. They didn't pull me off. I took another doctor to tell him. And another doctor to agree. By April, I went from November 2002 to April of 2003. I went from a 24 to a 16. Everybody's rooting me on at church, everywhere. Okay? May 3rd, 2003 is when Brian Laney shows up and tells us that horrible stunt. Phil running through that stop sign into a semi and showing off in front of people killed him and Tyler both. I finished getting well in July. It took me 9 months. In November of 2003 is when Linda came up to me at church where she had found, she was out one day seeing Tim with Katie. And so when he'd go to leave, she'd follow him. She came up to me at church, I was following him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry, be careful. I'm like, great, thanks. Okay. Well, Strange made up that lie on Sunday. 6 months after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with. It takes a moron. You watch somebody go through 6 to 10 surgeries. I had endometriosis and then kidney stones and major kidney surgery. And a whole bunch of other surgeries in 2.5 years. They see me go through all those surgeries, then go to pain management, the witch doctors I went to. Over a year and a half, swell up like a boom and get that sick. Then, over 9 months, get well. We're talking 4 to 5 years or more. Okay, so who would believe a dumbass making up that lie when you've seen somebody go through the surgery, swell up like a balloon, and then slowly get well over almost a year? And they say, oh, all that was faking. It takes a dumbass to believe it. Last year, I told you some of the officers were the K's. What was that agent thinking? Listen, we looked it up. The only one that said she was faking was Strange. It was Strange's lie. He had such a low IQ, you couldn't believe a word that came out of his mouth. He's a minister, not a doctor. He wouldn't know what he was saying. Of course not. He was blowing smoke up his ass. He was lying. And that family, 6 months later, has nothing to do with him. Oh, feel sorry for us. Why would you feel sorry for him? Because he lied on me. Had nothing to do with him. Like they said, they're making up excuses to harm people. Just like I found out it was Katie supposed to be in there. She's mean to me. I haven't talked to her in like 7 years. She was making it up. And since when can you have somebody drugged, beaten, raped because somebody calls them a faker? And another person said they were mean to him. And where did you get your information that it was true? Huh? Because was there any harassment reports? Any this? Any that? No, because she was making it up. Was we didn't talk to Altman family physicians because they would have told you it was a medicine making me sick. Hmm? You didn't talk to my doctors, and by HIPAA violations, they can't talk to you. But they had to go to court order. They had to go with me to my doctor's visits. Oh, and the doctor made sure that they talked about it in front of him. So it was, like they said, it was some guy impersonating a doctor showing up at his office. He knows by federal law HIPAA violations is 1 to 5 years and a $250,000 fine. If one of my real doctors would have showed up, he would have had to arrest him. Like Altman Hospital, my God, no one wants to talk to these people. They had some guy impersonate a doctor from Altman Hospital selling people's information. The hospital would get sued. The state will go Harry. Selling people's information being part of hate crimes. Their oath is to do no harm. Negligence is 1 to 8 years and $1.5 million fine. Then we got insurance fraud. Where they used to do insurance fraud, Medicare fraud, Medicaid fraud. Falsely diagnosing somebody ripping off their insurance. Attempted murder. They're looking at a lot of jail time. And doctors perjure information every 7 years unless you keep going. So to a hospital. So somebody I seen 15 years before that wouldn't even have my information, but all my family physicians, and they just keep a record that it was the medication making me sick before. It was medical malpractice. My God, nobody's to ever talk to these people. They had somebody impersonate a doctor from Altman Hospital selling people's information. The hospital gets sued. And no one's to ever back those doctors from before. My God, they were lying so bad. They said she had brain tumors and there was nothing wrong with her, but her muscles locked up and it was a medicine making her sick. And they were just ripping her off. No one's going to back that. December 30th, 23, Altman Hospital. Cops walked by. All those doctors were lying before. Yeah, it was the medicine making her sick. None of this is funny. Do you claim fraud and somebody almost killing you? No, that would make you stupid. Because I'll tell you what, I've always wondered. I actually thought the FBI would show up. Karen, that was an act, that agent talking to you like that, and him going up there and telling on you for calling the FBI. They had big drug dealers involved. You know what should have happened? The FBI should have grabbed me, told me to meet down at a courthouse, and they should have had a disguise and had the marshals take me away and hide me. There was terrorists involved. That's what should have happened. And they should have hid me somewhere across the United States. That's what should have happened. They should have said, Karen, show up here. And then walk me in, and then people have disguise and walk me out somewhere else. That's what should have happened. And they should have hid me. I always thought they would show up. Our agents usually don't tell on people and go up to an account and tell on them for calling for help when they're scared for their life. Okay? I always thought they would show up and say, you know, it was an act to get the drug dealers. We're sorry you got hurt. But no, they run around laughing and they call that agent stupid. June 23rd, 24th. They all think he's stupid. They made a public fool out of him. June 7th, 23, FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before. Oh, come on now. It was only a stunt. You're kidding. Is that what's going on? FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before. Ha 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 ha. Walmart 62. Sheriff's happened. They dared the FBI to fix it July 9th, 23. He told on me for calling the hotline up at Apostolic Church of Barberton before I returned his phone call after he left a voicemail after the hotline. Told him he knew I was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care because it's the strangest lie. And if she was going to be mean to other women, he was going to turn her back over to him. He told that church he was going to defraud me. Told you on a recorded line. He confessed he met with the Vegas and the church people several times and had told on me and acted like a crazy occult person. So where would you get your foundation that somebody called me a faker? Because it was none of my doctors. It was only Strange's line. And he was a low-educated occult leader. Controlling people with lies. That's why I call him the Pinocchio Group. They run around telling people I have charges, and this one big dirty word, I had to Google it. I never heard it. I'm not stupid. Not the smartest cookie in the bunch, but not stupid. I had to Google it. It actually means rape. I'm like, my lord, that never happened. And they try to tell people it meant weird with yourself. I'm not weird with myself, and I never hurt anybody either. I didn't even know what it meant. Well, some guy in 21 by Christmas said she had to Google what it meant. It's not even funny. They said she was found guilty in a court of law. They lied to you. They lied to you. I didn't even know what it meant. In a shower scene in the other room, Andrew Darabic up there had 7 victims. What they did is considered cyber stalking. It's a federal crime. Setting button cameras watching me through the internet is cyber stalking. It's a federal crime. Photoshopping a shower scene of washing in the other room is sextortion, and then try to extort money out of it. It's a federal crime. Taking naked pictures of somebody without their permission and then photoshopping them or even just taking them is voyeurism. It's a big crime. Taking pictures of little kids going potty, my grandkids in the bathroom, using the bathroom, right, they sold them on porn sites. That's a federal crime. Andrew Arabic got naked pictures of people and tried to extort money out of them. He's in federal prison for 12 to 15 years. That's how big a crime it is. These people are literally breaking in your home, drugging you up, beating, raping you, drugging you up and telling you to say stuff stupid with amnesia drugs, date rape drugs so you're sleepwalking. LSD will make you sleepwalk. Hallucinate since the 60s. There's a whole long list of them. And then prescription drugs in higher doses will make you sleepwalk with no memory. The police and FBI, all of them know about it. They're fake sodium pentothal reports. How would you like to wake up with bruises? Throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out. Marks on you can't explain. And then a severe personal infection, migraine, headache, sick. Go to the doctor, I don't know what's wrong with me. You move to this new house and the well water looks like poop water. I almost thought I had E. coli in it. That just washing in it was making me sick. And here, sexual predators are stabbing me with date rape drugs or lacing drinks in when I walk out of the room and I didn't know they were in my home. Where the hell is that funny? I never had these people in my home, nor did I see them. So where the hell is any of that funny where drug dealers are running scams on people? It's not. I'm going to upload this.